Iran, who struck tonight in the ever-spiraling cycle of violence in the Middle East. The U.S. says around 200 Iranian ballistic missiles launched from Iran rained down across Israel this evening, sending people running for cover. Just moments after air raid sirens sounded, the sky filled with streaks of light. Incoming missiles, many appearing to explode in the air, intercepted by Israeli and American defenses. Iran launching waves of missiles toward Israel in retaliation for its recent killing of the leader of Hezbollah, an Iranian-backed militia group. Remarkably, Israel says there were no deaths and few injuries as a result of the missile strikes this evening. The attacks not a surprise after U.S. intelligence several hours earlier warned a missile attack by Iran was imminent. This evening, Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu making clear there will be a response. Our team witnessed it all from the ground. Raf Sanchez leads us off with the latest now from northern Israel.
It began just after 7:30 local time.
I can tell you at this moment, the skies above us are lighting up.
What looked to us from the grounds like deadly shooting stars, Iranian ballistic missiles slamming down one after another near an Israeli airbase. Also seen over Jerusalem's western wall and across the country. Israel says its air defenses taking out most of the incoming missiles.
We are seeing some of these missiles, they are either falling apart, a sign that they have been intercepted, or they are making their way down towards the ground here in northern Israel.
The IDF says around 180 Iranian missiles fired in total, in two waves, minutes apart.
We are once again seeing the skies lighting up now.
Traveling the nearly 1,000 miles from Iran to Israel in just 11 minutes. Later, like millions of others, we took cover when we heard the warning sirens.
That's the sirens. We're going to head to safety.
President Biden had ordered the U.S. military to assist in defending Israel. Tonight, the Pentagon saying U.S. Navy destroyers fired a dozen interceptors at the incoming missiles.
Obviously, this is a significant escalation by Iran, a significant event.
The U.S. condemning the Iranian action, saying dozens more ballistic missiles were fired than in Iran's previous attack on Israel back in April.
This is totally unacceptable, and the entire world should condemn it.
The IDF tonight saying there are no known fatalities or major injuries in Israel. Iran says the attack was a response to Israel's assassination last week of Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah, following nearly a year of Hezbollah rocket attacks on northern Israel. All of it with nerves already frayed here by an earlier mass shooting in Tel Aviv. At least 6 civilians killed when 2 terrorists opened fire on the light rail, police say. While in a late-night speech addressing the missile attack, Prime Minister Netanyahu saying Iran made a big mistake tonight, and it will pay for it.
Raf, what have you learned about damage caused by those Iranian missiles?
Lester, Israel says there were a small number of impacts in the south and the center of the country. We know one missile came down near a school, and several more were aimed at an airbase that was damaged in the last Iranian attack back in April. Lester?
All right, Raf Sanchez, thanks. And Chief Foreign Correspondent Richard Engel is in southern Lebanon, right across the border from Israel. Richard, you've covered this conflict for a very long time. Does it feel certain that Israel will retaliate here?
Oh, Israel will absolutely retaliate, and Prime Minister Netanyahu is already giving some hint at what Israel intends to do. Tonight, he listed off the names of several militant leaders who have attacked Israel in the past. Nearly all of them subsequently assassinated by Israel. So Israel could carry out targeted attacks against Iranian officials believed to be associated with this missile barrage. There could be attacks on nuclear sites, military facilities. How far Israel goes will determine the course of this war in the Middle East. Lester?
All right, Richard Engel, thanks. As you heard, the U.S. actively participated in defending against the Iranian strike as the president and vice president kept a close watch on the situation. Here's Peter Alexander.
President Biden tonight declaring Iran's major assault on Israel a failure.
The attack appears to have been defeated and ineffective.
The president crediting the U.S.'s extensive planning anticipating today's attack and working alongside its close ally, Israel.
Make no mistake, the United States is fully supportive of Israel.
Earlier, President Biden with Vice President Harris monitoring the attack alongside their national security team from the Situation Room. The White House says Iran did not give any advance notice of today's missile barrage. That comes as the Biden administration's months-long effort to prevent a larger war in the Middle East is now facing its toughest test yet. The president tonight saying it remains. Johnson argues on the administration's watch, the world is spiraling out of control.
They are very close to global catastrophe. We have a non-existent president and a non-existent vice president who should be in charge, but nobody knows what's going on.
All of it a dire backdrop to tonight's one and only showdown between the two vice presidential picks, who have been fierce critics from afar for months.
This is not about power, it's about governing.
Well, Kamala, day one was 1,400 days ago. What the hell have you been doing?
Tonight, they'll meet in person for the first time.
And Peter, you're there in the spin room, and we're going to be seeing some new rules at this debate. Tell us about it.